I'm Howard Phillips Lovecraft, and today's question comes to us from Mr. O'Connell, who wanted to know if I was familiar with the work of Richard Svensson, a filmmaker and animator who has created a whole series of short films based on my stories and poems. Prior to today I wasn't, but now that I have acquainted myself with his work, I am delighted. Now, while I always find it a touch confusing if flattering that people choose to adapt my stories, Mr. Svensson goes a step further. He blends together a whole panoply of different skills and arts, from puppetry to animation, acting to little stop-and-start figures in the style of Ray Harryhausen, and the final result is such a beautiful mixture of skill and whimsy that one cannot but be delighted at what one sees. Here, for example, is a rather educational piece he did helping to teach children the alphabet. And if that weren't enough, Mr. Svensson also details in painstaking beauty all that goes into his craft. You can follow him step by step, seeing him construct these wonderful monsters. It's inspiring. And I mean that, literally. I am inspired to try to do as he does, and in fact I've worked out a little something, an adaptation of my own, of one of my favourite stories, Murder Most Tepid. I do hope you'll enjoy.
Oh no! There's been a murder! Someone please call the vicar!
Oh, did someone call for a vicar? Mrs. Cunningham!
Oh, vicar, there you are! Oh, it's terrible, terrible! Murder most foul!
Oh, that's indeed terrible. Oh, I must see to it. I despise murder.
Oh, I know you do, vicar. That's why I called you. Oh, vicar.
Yes, Mrs. Cunningham?
Oh, will we be safe?
I don't know, Mrs. Cunningham. Not with a murderer about.
Oh, but before we go and look for murders, couldn't we have a nice cup of tea?
Ah, yes. We should have a nice cup of tea. Just because there's been murder doesn't mean we shouldn't enjoy the finer things in life.
I couldn't agree more with you, vicar.
Oh, Mrs. Cunningham, you do know what makes a vicar tick.
Oh, vicar.
Yes, Mrs. Cunningham?
Oh, do you ever have any regrets, vicar?
Regrets? What do you mean?
Don't you wish we'd ever fallen our hearts and gotten married?
Oh, Mrs. Cunningham, why do you bring that up? Oh, my vicar's heart!
Oh, please, don't run from me, vicar. You know how I feel.
Yes, and I know how I feel. Oh, Mrs. Cunningham.
Oh, vicar.
That's about as much as I've gotten done. It's a work in progress. As always, I'm Howard Phillips Lovecraft. Thank you.